champion!
Hey everyone, today I want to take another little snapshot look at a particular role of a certain hero and really examine how that role differs from other heroes in their particular subcategory of classes. In this particular game that's playing in the background, I started the game as Mercy actually, as the healer, and it wasn't going well. We were getting dominated by their flankers. I was getting taken out probably no more than 10 seconds after getting to the cart, getting to the front line and starting to heal. They had an excellent Genji that was really focusing me down, and I felt like I just wasn't being very effective because after the healer was down and I was forced to spend the time respawning, they were able to pick apart everybody else in the group. What it basically came down to is they were getting in close quarters. They had a McCree and a Genji that were getting behind our Reinhardt and were able to take out the soft heroes before our tanks could react to them just tearing us apart in the back lines. So I ended up switching to Lucio here. Lucio is an interesting healer in that he can actually still engage in combat. Not particularly good combat, but he still can engage in combat while he heals. And if you switch off between his speed boost and his heal, you can get yourself out of certain situations. You can force your other particular heroes to get into situations faster, be able to help the team quicker. And he's really a tough hero. He's surprisingly mobile. He's surprisingly difficult to get a beat on with his knockback. And it ended up actually really working out here. I've seen this particular strategy of switching from a more soft healer to the more hardy Lucio work in the past, and here it really highlights the fact that he is a hero that can get in close quarters, cause a kind of a ruckus when he's able to deflect a Genji that's getting in behind your lines away. He's able to get your heroes back into the fray faster, get them to charge. He can charge a Reinhardt into their lines quicker. It's really an interesting aspect of Lucio. He can act as this skirmisher class. He can act as somebody that can get in there and fight with particular heroes that the other healers can't. They're not effective. And while he definitely doesn't have the damage output of Zenyatta or a pure single target healing capabilities of a Mercy, his AE heal is actually surprisingly good when you have a team that's sticking together. If everybody's taking particularly splash damage in an area, he's excellent at getting everybody topped off, and the extra little bit of damage he can contribute is enough to finish off some classes. You'll see in particular in this game sometimes where he'll finish off a few heroes that get into close range and are skirmishing with our tanks or some of our DPS, and he's able to finish off that last little bit of health, something that a Mercy can't really do. I mean, she can switch to the pistol, but she loses all of her extra healing capability, and particularly the damage output on her pistol isn't as good as Lucio's Soundwave gun. And she doesn't have the added benefit that she can knock certain heroes away when they get in close quarters. One thing you'll see me do a lot here, and it's something if you want to take this role on as Lucio as a skirmisher, is knowing exactly when you need to switch your buffs up. You definitely want to keep people topped off if they're taking damage. That is your #1 priority, is being the healer of the group. But don't be afraid to switch to speed, especially when everybody is topped off full health, or in certain situations when your team needs to escape an ultimate that is reliant on being able to see your team, or being able to escape a certain situation that is definitely not going to be in your best favor if you stay where you're at that particular moment. You really need to learn to use the speed booster for escape, for charging, for just getting your team back into the fray as quickly as possible, or making particular movements, especially with the Reinhardt, unpredictable to the enemy team. If he can charge a group of players and they don't see that coming, it's an excellent way to really catch the enemy team off guard by that extra little speed boost. Finally, I think the most important aspect of Lucio as the skirmisher is that his perception to the enemy team is slightly different than the other healers. I think that he's seen as less of a soft target. You see a Mercy, you see a Zenyatta, and you instantly think to yourself as particular, especially flanking heroes, okay, here's my first priority target, here's my easy kill. This is what I'm going to go after because I know I can take them out relatively quickly and they don't have that much recourse against me. Lucio is so elusive, and Lucio is so kind of dangerous that the fact that he can output damage or knock you back. He has that option of running with switching to his speed boost. He can run up the walls with his wall climb, wall slide, and he has some really interesting ways to cause an enemy team to rethink prioritizing him as a target. I know I've made this point before in other videos, but in a game this fast-paced, where players are really acting on muscle memory or acting on lightning fast reactions, perception and kind of an instinctual reaction to certain heroes, players generally have a certain subset of subconscious rules that they follow when they see certain heroes. Regardless of the player's skill level, they have a certain order of reactions that they make to it. And Lucio's advantage is that he's not always priority target in a group of players that are sticking together, unlike certain other healers. I think basically as long as players play him in a very elusive kind of tricky to kill kind of way, this perception is going to stay. He's going to stay the elusive healer. You might not consider killing Lucio before you kill those other classes, whereas if you saw a Mercy, Mercy's your #1 priority target because you know she can res, you know that she's the most dangerous as far as keeping the rest of the group alive. I think ultimately the thing to take away from this video is that you're having trouble staying alive with Mercy or Zenyatta. If an enemy team has effective flankers that are prioritizing you as a target and taking you out quickly, consider switching to a Lucio. If you want to keep playing healer and you want to keep trying to help your team in that way, switch to a Lucio, move around erratically, switch your songs often enough, and use your knockback effectively, and you can survive and help your team come out with a win. Good luck out there, guys.